Hello, and welcome to Rosario to Kiva. Written by CK Chromadragozoid and Ten-Faced Paladin. Read by Austin Whitaker. Episode 3, Concerto for a Witch. Another day was beginning at Yokai Academy, and Yukari Sendo was going to enjoy it. The 12-year-old high school student was currently setting things up in her classroom for the day's pranks that she had planned. They were mainly aimed at people who just made fun of her or were just mean to her just because of who she was. She aimed to make these pranks big so that people would regret trying to put her down. Walking through the halls, she decided to see what other fun things she could do. The day was still new after all. As she was walking past one of the music classrooms, she heard something. She easily recognized the music as from a violin. It was very beautiful, and Yukari found herself becoming entranced by the sound. Becoming very curious, she stepped towards the classroom and opened the door a crack. Inside, she spotted the one who was making the music. It was a boy who was probably a first year like her. He was playing on a violin, and the look of supreme concentration on his face made Yukari gasp slightly. She had never seen anyone look so determined about anything before. Sitting in front of him were two girls. One had long pink hair and was wearing the normal girl's uniform, while the other had blue hair tied in a ponytail and boobs that looked like they were way too big for her. Both were sitting, entranced by the music that the boy was making. Both girls had a slight flush to their face, along with looks of adoration. The boy wound down his performance with a long stroke of his violin's strings before he plucked the individual chords with his fingers, signaling the end of his performance. The two girls then began to cheer as they clapped for him. "That was great, Wataru-kun!" The pink-haired girl cheered with a happy smile. "It was so beautiful, Wataru!" The blue-haired girl sighed dreamily. "Moka-san, Kuruma-san, arigato." The boy, Wataru, nodded with a blush and a smile. "Cultured and kind," Kurumu squealed. "I just knew you were perfect." Kurumu then grabbed Wataru around the torso and hugged him tightly. At the same time, she made sure to rub her breasts against his chest as much as possible. Wataru blushed brightly as he tried to make motions of escape, but couldn't get the excited Kurumu off of him. "Kurumu-chan!" Moka cried as she dashed to pry the succubus off her friend. "I was here first!" Kurumu cried. She looked up pleadingly at Wataru. "Don't you like it when I hug you, Wataru?" No." Wataru blushed, finding words hard to pronounce. Yukari stepped away from the door, her own cheeks pink. "Wataru?" she whispered. Her heart was beating fast as she imagined herself and Wataru together. He would only play the violin for her and only her, and she wouldn't be alone in the school anymore. With a wide smile, the young witch decided that she had fallen in love with the violinist. She then ran off with a plot in mind. "No way those monsters can appreciate his music like I can," thought Yukari. "Wataru-sama, I am going to save you and your music, I swear!" Inside the room, Wataru sneezed. Kiva swooped down and asked, "You caught a cold or something, Wataru?" The young inheritor of Kiva rubbed his nose. "I don't think so." "Don't worry, Wataru," purred Kurumu. "If you catch a cold, I can warm you up right." She took his hand and placed it on her chest. Nani? "Kurumu-chan!" exclaimed Moka. "Just sharing the love, Moka," grinned Kurumu mischievously. Kurumu had learned quite a few things about Wataru. For one, the armor he had used against her was known as Kiva and had been left to him by his mother. Kurumu wondered what his mother was like, but got no answer. He told her that he didn't remember his parents much from when he was young, having lost them at the age of 7. The succubus sympathized with the violinist and tried to comfort him by asking if he would want to share a bed with her. Wataru became flushed at the suggestion while Moka scolded her for such a lewd idea. Kurumu loved Wataru. He had a strength that no other man she had met and was able to resist her. Also, he had this certain unique charm around him. He was a bit shy, but Kurumu thought that she could take care of that one day, though how she was going to do it would make Wataru pass out from blood loss. She couldn't believe that the boy was innocent, but well, he was of a rare breed. He could have killed her when she herself wanted to kill him, but he chose not to, purposely missing her with his attack before taking her back to the infirmary because of the injuries he had inflicted on her. He was kind and sincere as well as cute. She also admired him because of his musical talent. She just couldn't understand why he had no confidence in his own skill while she herself had listened to him play. He could have entered a competition and won first place, but he admitted to her that he wasn't comfortable with a lot of people staring at him. He had a bad case of stage fright, which surprised her. Kurumu also noticed another unique trait of Wataru's. Those strange markings that looked like stained glass would show up on his skin whenever he felt angry, which was rare. But when she saw them, she wondered about what kind of monster he was. Unlike Mocha, Kurumu had no idea that Wataru was half human and half Fangire. Also, his personality would change dramatically. One boy made a lewd comment about her and Mocha, and Wataru was instantly in his face and threatening the guy. It was like he was a different person, and those markings just made him look all the more intimidating. She was in love with him, and he was her destined one. She would learn more about him, but there was still Mocha to contend with. Wataru was fond of the pink-haired vampire, which irked Kurumu. She only tolerated the vampire's presence because she didn't want Wataru to be sad. Wataru Kunai was a mystery that she was determined to solve. Mocha Akashiya had been feeling great since she had entered Yokai Academy. At first she was a little afraid since she didn't know anyone there, and the chances of another vampire being there were low. Of course, that all changed when she ran over an odd boy wearing allergy equipment. He seemed so strange at first, but was also very nice. Once she got the allergy equipment off, she found that he was very cute. He was also very shy and innocent too. There was just this quality to him that Mocha just couldn't turn away from. Mocha found that she enjoyed being in Wataru's company. She felt like she could open up and be herself around him. She didn't have to shy away or pretend like she did in the human world. Wataru had certainly been shy enough for the both of them. Still, he was surprisingly brave, like when he had stood up against Saizo for her. It certainly showed that Wataru was really her friend if he wanted to protect her. Mocha still chided herself sometimes for saying she hated humans when Wataru's father was human. Wataru looked so hurt when she had said her opinion of humans. The vampire felt absolutely horrible for hurting his feelings like that. She was just happy that they were able to make up after that incident. Of course, nothing beat Mocha's surprise at discovering Wataru's life as Kiva and everything that went with it. Finding out where he lived and meeting his guardians was such a surprise. Still, it made Mocha feel special since she was the only one he had opened up to. She knew so much about him and it made her smile. He trusted her and let her into his life. It showed that he had found her precious as she thought. Wataru Kunai made Mocha feel very special, and she loved every minute of it. Insert transition here. As the three friends walked through the hallways, they were drawing some looks from the other students. The girls were jealous of Mocha Kumu for having a guy like Wataru with them, and the guys were jealous because Wataru had two of the most beautiful girls in his class hanging with him. Wataru just felt a little uncomfortable under all the stares, but luckily for him, he had Mocha and Kurumu with him. Of course, the day was going to begin with a twist. Itai! Mocha cried as a metal bucket dropped onto her head. Hey! Kurumu exclaimed as another bucket dropped on her head too. Nani? Wataru reacted as he saw his two friends nursing their heads. Mocha-san, Kurumu-san, daijoubu? I'm okay, Wataru-kun, said Mocha. But the person who did this isn't going to be okay, growled Kurumu. I hope I didn't get a bruise. All of a sudden, a girl no older than 12 stepped in front of the trio and pointed her wand at them. She was wearing a variant of the girl's uniform, and in addition wore a cape and a witch's hat. It didn't take a genius to guess what she was. Step away from Wataru-sama, you evil monsters! Demanded Yukari. Or else I'll put a curse on you! She was trying to look intimidating, but due to Yukari's stature, she didn't get much of an effort. All the other students were giving her a WTF look. "Hey, is this your big idea of a joke?" Kurumu spoke angrily as she approached the witch. Wataru grabbed her arm and held her back. "Let me go, Wataru!" "Kurumu-san, calm down," said Wataru pleadingly. "She's just a child." "I'm not a child," Yukari snapped. "I'm almost 13, and I want you to stay away from Wataru-sama if you know what's good for you." "Nope." "I'm almost 13, and I want you to stay from Wataru-sama if you know what's good for you." "Who the hell do you think you are?" shouted Kurumu. "Wataru-sama's future girlfriend," proclaimed Yukari. There were mumbles coming from the rest of the students. Mocha gave Wataru a scrutinizing look. "Wataru-kun, do you know this girl?" "I don't think so." Wataru scratched his head, and then he approached Yukari. What's your name?" "Yukari Sendo," smiled Yukari while leering at Kurumu. "And I'm here to save you." "Save me?" Wataru blinked. "From what?" He didn't understand what was going on with this girl. "You're a great musician, Wataru-sama," said Yukari admiringly. "I heard you play and you were great on the violin. Play for me only. No one else in this school can appreciate it." "Mocha-san and Kurumu-san do," said Wataru. Yukari snorted. "No way can they understand it like I can. Maybe they're just pretending." She took his hand. "Come on, come with me." She pulled, but he didn't budge. "Wataru-sama?" I don't know. Wataru hesitated. What was he supposed to say? "Scram, brat!" snapped Fuck. "Scram, brat!" snapped Kurumu. "Wataru is my destined one." Yukari glared and waved her wand, causing another bucket to fall on Kurumu's head. Clong! "All right, that's it!" Kurumu lunged. "You're mine!" "Kurumu-san, please, stop!" Wataru pleaded. He turned towards Mocha. "Mocha-san, help me!" "Oh, Wataru-sama," Yukari cooed at the sight. "You do care about me." "Kurumu-san!" Mocha cried, going to assist her friend in restraining the enraged succubus. "Please calm down. She's only 12. Yukari watched the exchange with growing suspicion. Since Wataru wasn't going with her, there was obviously something wrong. She had heard that a succubus can enslave men with their charm abilities. That would easily explain why Wataru wouldn't fall for her witchy charms. Then again, vampires can enslave people by biting them too. She'd read all about it. It seemed she had come just in time. Wataru needed to be rescued! Yukari had vanished in the onlooking crowd, so Kurumu was determined to never see her again. Wataru had been a little confused about the young girl's actions, but would ponder on it when he had the chance. Mocha was simply happy that things were peaceful again. Lunchtime had rolled around, and the three friends were seated at a cafeteria table. Kurumu was snuggling as close as she possibly could to Wataru and attempted to feed him. Mocha was trying to defend Wataru from Kurumu's advances, but it looked like she was trying to keep him to herself. Off hiding behind a corner, Yukari was watching with a frown. She should be the one eating with Wataru. Those other two girls didn't know how to appreciate someone special like him. Well, she would make sure that they got lost and leave Wataru all to her. Drawing her wand, Yukari concentrated her magical energy into it. Once it was ready, she waved it around and unleashed her spell. Over with Wataru and his friends, the dishes of food that Mocha and Kurumu had purchased started to glow and tremble. Huh? The three friends blinked as they noticed how the plates of food were beginning to act funny. To their surprise, the 2 plates of food began to rise into the air. The 3 friends could only watch in surprise at what was happening. The plates of food rose a few feet higher until the contents couldn't be seen. What the? Kurumu was the first to speak. She didn't get to finish her sentences when the dishes suddenly tipped over. Both Mocha and Kurumu cried out in shock when their meals ended up splattered all over their faces and getting tangled in their hair. They didn't have time to cry in shock before the plates landed on their heads heavily. "Itai!" both girls cried. "Mocha-san! Kurumu-san!" Wataru gasped. He immediately set himself to see if there were any injuries on his friends' heads. "I'm okay," Mocha reassured her friend. "Urgh!" Kurumu groaned. "This is going to take forever to get out." "Ha ha 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 ha!" A familiar childlike voice laughed from nearby. Kurumu, Mocha, and Wataru looked up to see Yukari standing plainly as day and laughing at them. "I got the better of you. Stay away from Wataru-sama if you want this to stop." "You little brat!" Kurumu screeched as her nails began to lengthen. "I'm gonna kill you!" "Kurumu-san!" Wataru tried to stutter out, hoping to calm the succubus down before she unleashed her full power. After all, Yukari was still a child, witch or not. "She's just a kid!" Mocha cried, also trying to calm Kurumu down. "It doesn't matter!" Kurumu snapped. "She's trying to take my destined one, and I'll never let that happen." "I know," Wataru muttered. "And Mocha," Kurumu frowned. "You care about Wataru, don't you? Doesn't it bother you that little brat is trying to force him to be with her?" "You tried the same thing," Mocha mumbled. "Well, I learned my lesson," Kurumu snapped. "I'm not about to let this little kid try and take my Wataru away." "Who says he's yours?" Yukari snapped. "And I'm not a little kid." "I know," Wataru mumbled, but it seemed that no one was listening to him. Yukari waved her wand again, and all the plates in the cafeteria floated up and then flew over to Mocha and Kurumu. The two girls shrieked when piles of food were dumped upon them. Wataru then grabbed Yukari, who led him away from the cafeteria while Mocha and Kurumu were busy cleaning themselves up. Outside the building, Yukari smiled triumphantly that she had claimed Wataru. She turned to smile at the other boy. "Now, Wataru-sama, you're safe from those two." Yukari-chan," Wataru stuttered. "That wasn't very nice." "Those girls are no good for you," she reasoned. "I bet that succubus put a spell on you, and that vampire just keeps you around for your blood." Wataru replied, "But they're my friends. Maybe you give them the chance, they'll be your friends too." Yukari looked at him in shock and shuddered. "I thought you were different." "I know." He was perplexed at her change of behavior. "I mean, you're special, like me, and I thought you could understand." "Yukari-chan?" "Wataru! Baka!" Yukari cried before she waved her wand, causing several buckets to hit Wataru's head in succession. The Foundry was surprised and unable to dodge, so he ended up being buried in buckets. The little witch girl ran away, crying without looking back. "Wataru-kun?" Mocha came out to look for her friend, and then she found piles of buckets. Upon closer inspection, she found Wataru under the pile, groaning in pain. She gasped, "Wataru-kun!" Mocha called as she helped Wataru dig his way out of the pile. "Are you okay?" "I'm fine, Mocha-san," Wataru said while rubbing his head. "But that girl has a problem. What's wrong with her?" "Well, I did some asking about Yukari Sendo," explained Kurumi as she arrived. "Apparently she's a genius who skipped a few grades." "That's obvious," Mocha agreed. "She's 12 years old." "She's also a witch, which might also be part of the problem," added Kurumu. "Why is that?" Wataru asked curiously. "Well, witches are border beings," stated Kurumu, "meaning they are neither monster nor human. They are in between, and well, it's also hard to determine if someone's a witch or not by appearance alone. Witches are looked down upon by most monsters and hated by humans. I guess she feels she doesn't belong. Added that she's a genius with nobody her age in school. She feels lonely," Wataru finished. He knew the feeling well, having few friends himself because of his abnormalities. Well, she's not our problem, said Kurumu nonchalantly. She hugged Wataru from behind. Come on, darling, let's go and... Kurumu-san, I think we should help her, said Wataru. Help her? After what she did to you? Kurumu blinked. Wataru-kun is right, agreed Mocha. We know what it's like to be alone. Maybe we can be the friends that she needs. Kurumu quirked an eyebrow at what both Mocha and Wataru said inside. Fine by me. Let's go look for her, said Wataru. Yukari was crying as she walked away and accidentally bumped into someone. Sorry, she apologized and looked up to see one of the boys in her class. Looky here, he said to his two friends, grinning savagely. It's the little witch girl. One of them pointed. Don't you know it's against the rules to show your true form? I mean, look at that getup. Or do you think you're too good for the rules? The leader sneered. We should teach her a lesson, boss, the last one said, and their leader grinned. Right, he agreed. They loomed over her and she was frightened. She tried to use her magic, but her wand was snatched away. Wataru-sama, help me. Up above, Kiva saw the whole thing. Looks like trouble. I better tell Wataru. He flew off to report this. Yukari was tied up and hanging from a tree branch as the three of her classmates smirked. One of them was holding her wand. You're not so high and mighty without your magic, are you? One of them taunted, poking Yukari with her own wand. Let me go, she cried out. Someone, help me! No one's come under your rescue, witch girl. One of them laughed. The leader grinned. Now it's time for disciplinary action. He approached Yukari dangerously, but then something cut him in the face. Ow! Boss, what's wrong? One of them asked. Something cut me, he hissed. He heard flapping and looked up to see a strange creature. What is that? The thing was Kiva. Oi, Wataru, I found her! He called and three boys looked to see Wataru and Mocha approaching. Wataru, seeing Yukari tied up, demanded, Let her go! This is none of your business, the leader shouted. That's right, one of the crones agreed. This witch is going to get what's coming to her. Kiva flapped down and perched himself on Wataru's shoulder as the boy's face gained stained glass markings, meaning Kurenai was in control. You three are nothing but cowards. What did you say? The leader shouted. Nobody talks to us like that, one of his cronies said. You want to get punished with that witch? The last crony said. The three then changed into their true forms, lizard men. Their bodies were hunched over and their faces had bulged while being covered with scales. Their claws looked sharp and needle-like. Spikes had torn through their shirts while tails had ripped through their pants. Kurenai's face curled in disgust at the sight of them. Okay, now you're just ugly, spat Kurenai. He turned towards Mocha. Mocha-san, shall we? Mocha nodded as Kurenai took hold of her Rosario. At the same time, Kiva bit down on Kurenai's hand, calling forth the Kiva belt as the lizard men charged. Henshin! Kurenai called as Kiva flew down to the belt and hung himself there. Kurenai also pulled off the Rosario. Yukari watched as her Wataru-sama and the girl he was with changed right before her eyes. She felt someone untying her and saw Kurumu undoing her ropes. The succubus placed a finger against her lips to keep Yukari quiet. Meanwhile, both Kurenai and Mocha were finished with their transformations. Mocha had emerged with her sensual silver-haired and red-eyed true form. Her demonic aura made all three of the lizardmen grimace in fear, but their annoyance kept them from running. Kurenai had emerged as the armored warrior Kiva, staring at the three lizardmen with unblinking yellow eyes. What the hell are you supposed to be? Growled one of the lizardmen. Kiva offered no reply beyond his cold stare. So, you need 3 of you to take care of a child. Mocha smirked. She scoffed. Some monsters you are. What? The leader growled. That's it. Get them! Kill them both! The 2 lizardmen cronies charged with loud roars. To regular humans, this would have been an intimidating sight to witness. However, no one was there that would have considered this normal. As the lizardmen came closer, Moka-sama and Kiva took a ready stance. Neither of the 2 lizardmen noticed as they raised their claws to strike their opponents down. Kapow! Both lizardmen were suddenly sent flying by the terrible kicks that were given to them by Kiva and Moka-sama. Both lizardmen had lost their teeth from the kicks, but the taste of dirt and shoe or steel boot would be in their mouths for a while. Both Moka-sama and Kiva lowered their legs that they had attacked with and glared at the leader of the lizardmen. No way, he muttered as he saw where his 2 men had fallen. Just one kick and my men are gone!
Wake up!
The lizardman rolled around to see who had spoken. What he saw was Kiva with his armored boot in the air again. The chains covering it shattered to free the red bat wings, revealing a red layer inside with 3 green gems embedded in his leg. Moka-sama was just smirking as she bent her knees. She knew what was coming up next. Both vampiric beings leapt into the air and seemed to hover in front of the red moon, making them seem illuminated in ruby light. Kurumu thought that Kiva looked so dashing now that she wasn't on the receiving end. Yukari's eyes were filled with shock and awe at what she was seeing. The lizard man thought his cold blood had just turned to ice. Know your place! Both fighters shouted as they came back down. Their kicks were timed perfectly and collided with the lizard man with unbelievable force. There was almost a shockwave from the impact. Gah! The lone lizard man bellowed in pain as he crashed through several trees without stopping. He eventually crashed into a clearing and hit the water of the lake within it, sinking deep below the water. Both Moka-sama and Kiva landed on the ground, kicking up a little bit of dust. Kiva remained still for a moment as his leg was resealed by the returning chains, which held its power in place. As he stood up, Moka-sama walked over to her armored companion. My Rosario? She asked expectantly. She held out her hand. Of course. Kiva nodded as he produced the item in question. He bowed slightly as he handed it over. Anything for my lady. Flatterer. Moka-sama smirked as she plucked the Rosario back. Reattaching it to her chain, she allowed her power to be resealed, returning her to her regular form. The pink-haired vampire then fell forward where Kiva caught her. Kiva then left his perch, allowing Kiva to change back into Wataru. It was Wataru because he no longer sported the stained glass markings. Are you alright, Moka-san? Wataru asked. I'm just a little tired, she smiled. Otherwise, I'm fine. He returned the smile. The tender moment was ruined as Kurumu glomped him from behind. That's my Wataru. You sure showed them who's boss. She was rubbing her breasts against his back, causing him to blush from the sensation. Moka glared and attempted to pry the overly affectionate succubus off Wataru. Wataru-sama! Yukari called as she hugged around Wataru's waist, much to his surprise. Sugoi! You were amazing! She asked. What was that armor? The one to answer her would be Kiva. That, little girl, is the armor of Kiva. The mechanical bat said, and Yukari's eyes shone when she saw him. He got a sweat drop. He knew that look and dreaded it. Oh, no. Kawaii! Yukari hugged Kiva after letting go of Wataru. Wataru-sama, is this your pet? Wataru could only chuckle weakly as Kiva tried to struggle out of the witch's grasp. She let go of Kiva and then turned to look at Moka, Kurumu, and Wataru. Why did you come to save me? Even after the way I treated you, you still came to help me. Why? She was confused. Because we're friends, said Wataru as he knelt down to look Yukari in the eye. Isn't that right? We are? Yukari blinked. You, Moka-san, Kuruma-san, and Kiva are my friends, Wataru elaborated. That's why I want to protect you all. Yukari then burst into tears and hugged Wataru. He was startled at first, but hugged her back. Back in Castle Doron, Jiro was looking at the portrait of Otoya and Maya. His eyes were on the man.
Otoya, you annoying bastard,
he said with a grin.
It looks like your son has finally adapted your habit of attracting women.
In Jiro's hand was a glass of wine. He took a sip before continuing.
At least he's not a notorious flirt like you. You'd be proud of him. The girls he's made friends with are beautiful.
Nah, Jiro? Said Ramon as he walked to his side. You think Wataru-sama is going to invite his friends over for dinner like he did with Moka-Nisan?
That's up to him,
said Jiro. Whenever Wataru came home, he would tell his guardians about his day at school. He never did it before, but then again, he never actually made that many friends and was usually so shy to say anything.
But it's still good that he's actively making friends. Maybe I should make him some bento to share with his friends,
said Ricky as he stood next to Jiro's other side.
Do whatever you want,
said Jiro. Nah, Jiro, you fixed the bike for Wataru-sama yet? Asked Ramon.
I did,
smirked Jiro.
And he's gonna like it. Knowing Kurenai, he can't resist showing off,
stated Ricky. After her rescue, Yukari was left with her thoughts. Despite the way she had treated Moka, Wataru, and Kurumu, they still came to her rescue. It made her wonder if she gave people a chance, that maybe they'd want to be friends. The way she behaved might have had something to do with it. She never really tried to make friends with anyone except Wataru. Thinking of him brought her to his armored form as Kiva. She was a little intimidated by how he had easily clobbered the lizardmen, but that feeling went away when she got a good look at him. In fact, the aura he gave off was warm. Even though he had that scary armor, though, he was still very nice to her, going so far to call her as a friend, even though she had been so mean to him and his friends. The combination of finally finding friends and just how mean she had been made her cry. Wiping a stray tear, she recalled that cute bat Kiva. The little creature was so cute. She just wanted to hug the little fellow to herself and not let go. Even though there was something about him that seemed familiar, she wasn't sure if it was because of his appearance or something else, but something sure seemed familiar. She would have to do some research and see. First, she needed to apologize to her class, and then... So Yukari-chan is getting along with her classmates now? Wataru asked as he walked the hallways with Moka and Kurumu. It had been several days since the incident with Yukari. Wataru hadn't heard anything from her since. He was afraid that she was in trouble again, but Kurumu's ear for gossip assured him otherwise. She even apologized for all the pranks she played on them, Kurumu added. That's good, smiled Moka gratefully. She's finally making friends. As long as she stays out of my hair, that's fine by me, said Kurumu. She still hadn't forgiven the young witch for that stunt in the cafeteria. It had taken her hours to get the food out of her hair and clothes. As a succubus, Kurumu took pride in her looks and hated it when they were ruined. The three friends were walking past the classroom when a door opened up. None of them had a second thought about it as they continued on. However, their attention was instantly captured when they heard something familiar. Moka-sama! A childish voice squealed, and Moka gasped as she found herself on her back with Yukari on top of her, nuzzling her breasts. Yukari-chan? Wataru blinked. That brat again, hissed Kurumu. Yukari-chan. Moka spoke. She felt extremely comfortable as Yukari attempted to meld herself to her body as the best as she could. She was also sighing contently. I've decided, said Yukari confidently. From now on, I love Wataru-sama and Moka-sama. The reaction was obvious from both Wataru and Moka. Kiva watched from a window, chuckling. Wow, Wataru, you sure are collecting them, aren't you? End episode 3. Though I want to talk about the next episode because I'm really happy for it. But I don't want to spoil anything in case nobody's read the story. But anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please like, share, and comment down below. I do read the comments. So please comment what you guys think. I don't care if it's negative, positive, or you just want to give me some tips. I read every single one, and starting from now on, if possible, I want to try and at least message back on the comments. But anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed. And so, tune in 3 weeks for episode 4, Innocent Trap.